You remember the sound of a dial-up modem, but you also have 40 tabs open on your browser right now. You spent your childhood playing outside until the streetlights came on, yet you were the first to figure out social media. If you feel too old to be a millennial but too soft to be Gen X, you aren't lost. You're a Xennial. Psychologists call you a bridge generation, and your brain is actually wired differently than anyone else's. Today, we're diving into the unique psychology of the Xennial generation and why your analog childhood and digital adulthood is actually a psychological superpower. The in-between identity. The term Xennial was popularized around 2014 to describe those born between 1976 and 1985. Most generations are defined by a shared trauma or a massive tech shift, but Xennials, you are defined by transition. Gen X is often characterized by latchkey independence and a cynical whatever attitude. Millennials are known for being digital natives, optimism, and a collaborative spirit. Xennials sit right in the middle. You have the cynical grit of Gen X, but the tech savviness and adaptive nature of a millennial. Quick check. Did you have to look up movie times in a newspaper, or did you wait for the scroll on MoviePhone? Let me know in the comments if you remember the struggle. The analog childhood. Why does this matter for your mental health? It comes down to developmental windows. Xennials are the last generation to experience a boredom-rich childhood. Before the dopamine hits of TikTok and Instagram, your brain learned to sit with silence. Because you grew up without instant gratification, waiting a week for a new episode of a show or 3 days for photos to be developed, you developed a higher threshold for delayed gratification. Research suggests this leads to a specific type of cognitive resilience. You know how to function when the system goes down, because you remember when there was no system. Then came the shift. Just as you were hitting your late teens or early 20s, the internet exploded. The linguistic advantage. Psychologically, Xennials are bilingual. You speak analog, face-to-face communication, reading physical cues, and you speak digital, emojis, hashtags, and cloud computing. The stress factor. However, this creates a unique psychological burden, the comparison trap. Xennials remember life before the highlight reel. You saw the world before it was filtered, which often leads to a deep sense of imposter syndrome. You're navigating a world built for Gen Z using a moral compass forged in the 80s. So, what is the Xennial edge? High adaptive intelligence, or AQ. You've lived through the death of the landline, the rise and fall of the iPod, and the birth of AI. You don't just handle change, you expect it. Boundaries. Xennials are often better at unplugging because they have a physical memory of what an unplugged world feels like. The BS detector. Growing up in the grunge era gave you a healthy skepticism that protects you from a lot of modern digital manipulation. Being a Xennial isn't just a birth year, it's a psychological perspective. You are the bridge between the old world and the new. You have the grit to endure and the tech to evolve. What's one piece of dead technology you actually miss? For me, it's the satisfying click of a cassette tape. I'll see you in the comments. If you found this look into your brain helpful, hit that like button and subscribe.